Hey everyone, long time no chat. So this is Annette's Acre. Since it's been a couple 3 months, just a minute or two, since my last video, and Lord knows I have a bunch of stuff to catch you up on. I thought it would be good, or a viable option, I guess, to do a stitch with me today. I'm working on Let Freedom Ring, Lila's studio. It's on 32 count cream Jobelin. But I found what I think is a decent setup for this. And I got a whole list of things to talk about, so I figured it was a good opportunity. Also, the spouse is at work, so no music. Sorry about that. He actually started a new job in early March that rather than working from home 100% of the time, he's working in downtown Phoenix. So it's going well. He's now used to having the fun of driving in traffic every day. But he loves his little car, so he drives a Mini Cooper. So it's not a big hardship. But he's been there since the beginning of March. It's actually another contract, but it's a long-term contract, and he's now working for the same company that I work for. So he works for the same consulting company that I work for, just on a different client. He's in a different area. Anyway, so he's off doing that, and Zachary, the boy, is off with his current girlfriend. Today is her graduation, her high school graduation. He graduated a couple years ago, so but today is her high school graduation, so her family has planned a kind of an all-day celebration, so he's off doing that. So it's just me and the puppies here today, and they are sacked out for their early afternoon nap. And I took the afternoon off of work, which we'll talk about here shortly as to why I did that. So it seemed like a really good time to put in a few stitches, because I have a super busy weekend ahead, and catch y'all up. So when last we spoke, I was recovering from my fall, which I have now completely, but it took several weeks for all of the bruising to fade and the pain to finally dissipate. It was really, really bad. I feel for anyone that has had significant knee injury or work on their knee, because that was absolutely horrible. That was horrible, but all better. So no more problems. I am much more careful when I walk down the jetway of an airplane. I take it just a little slower and make sure that my suitcase is in a way that if for whatever reason I did lose my balance, I can use it to kind of catch me. So big lesson learned on that one. Also, since we last spoke, I've gotten older. So I had a birthday in mid-April, which was it was good. It was very good. I had a day. It was on a Saturday, which was nice, and Mike did not have his usual guitar lesson that day, and Zachary was not working, so we spent quite a bit, almost all the day together. So we went to lunch at one of my favorite restaurants here in the Phoenix area called White Chocolate Grill. They have like the best salad ever. Mike had been there before because it's not far from where we used to work up in North Phoenix, or North Scottsdale. Zachary had not been, so that was new for him. But we did that and went to the movies. We went to see Pacific Rim that day, which was enjoyable. And then later on had dinner at a pizza place, Mellow Mushroom, which was also pretty good. So that was good. But we were out and about most of the day, which is not my usual preference on Saturday, but, it's okay. It was good to spend the day. A couple days after that, I actually hit my 2-year anniversary on FlossTube. So that was, I can't believe it's been 2 years. It seems like I just started doing this, and just the fact of how many people now, how many different floss tubes there are now is just amazing. Okay, sorry about that. Of course, my phone doesn't ring, and then until I'm doing something where if it rings, it's going to interrupt, and so then, of course, it rang. So, anyway, so FlossTube anniversary, tons of new FlossTube. It's just amazing how many people there are out there doing now, and I gotta say, I'm feeling some pressure. The production values are way higher, so, but that's okay. We all do what we can. So that was also mid-April. What else? I had a couple business trips. I went to North Carolina for a week, which is nice. I like North Carolina. If I have to go to the East Coast, I would much rather go to North Carolina than, say, New York or New Jersey or something like that. I did do New Jersey earlier this year, but did Raleigh. And then I had to make a horrible business trip to Hawaii. I spoke at a conference that was held, a data governance conference that was held in Honolulu, so I had to actually fly to Hawaii. I know, it's a sacrifice we make for our jobs, right? Flew to Hawaii on a Monday, had some meetings on Tuesday, not a lot. Conference was on Wednesday, and then flew home at an ungodly hour on Thursday morning. For me, an ungodly hour, which is anything before 8 o'clock. But yeah, so spent a couple 3 days in Hawaii with one of my bosses, who is very much he is constantly on the go, but he's an easy person to travel with, that's for darn sure. So we had a good trip, and was able this time. I've made business trips to Hawaii before, and usually end up in a windowless conference room while I'm there. But this time, I had my hotel room face the ocean, which was nice, and I actually had time to walk along Waikiki Beach, and we ate at a number of different restaurants, and some iconic Hawaii and some kind of locals places, which was fun and interesting. So that was good. Brought home some coffee for the spouse, which he was happy with. So I made that business trip to Hawaii earlier this month. Would I want to do it regularly? No, not really. I would like to go back just on vacation with my husband, since I've been now twice and he hasn't been at all. So someday we'll get there. For Mother's Day, my husband we'd been talking, and we decided to increase the size of our pack. So we have two miniature schnauzers, and now we have 4. He was looking while I was in Hawaii. He was looking for a third dog to add to our gang here. And since we lost our male Schnauzer a couple years ago this month, and so the girls, I mean, they're fine with each other. They're 13 years old, so it's not like they're puppies running around. But it definitely put a bit of a sadness over everybody when we lost Nero. So it was time that we could add a male back in. Didn't want to add a female, not with 2 older girls. And, they're getting up there, so it made sense. So he started looking, and at the local, with the animal control and rescues, and found a couple 3 options, but either they were adopted before he could get to them after work, or they were just too would not do well with existing dogs. So finally kind of came across a gal that breeds, kind of a local breeder in the Phoenix area, and she had 2 5-month-olds, so they're a little older, 2 male puppies that were 2 males that were the last 2 of the litter, a litter of 8, so a sizable litter. And they're jet black with some white, just some white accents. I'll put a picture in so you can see them. Of the day that we got them. So I emailed her, and one thing led to another, and day before Mother's Day, that Saturday, we drove into Central Phoenix and met at a Starbucks, and we met the two puppies who were almost, their size is in between our 2 existing Schnauzers, and they were just the most adorable little things. So didn't take much, and home they came with us, and we've named them Max and Cooper. And it's been a couple weeks now, and they're settled in pretty well. Our older Schnauzer, she's black as well. Within a couple hours, she was like, fine, whatever. And basically showing them that she's the matriarch. She's definitely the matriarch of the group. And we've seen her kind of nudging them or herding them in one direction or another, and which is kind of funny. Our other one, Duchess, she's a white Schnauzer, and she's taken a little longer to kind of warm up to them. Obviously, they are puppies, so they want to play, and Duchess has kind of gotten past her play years quite a while ago, so it's a little more, they really want her to play, and she's like, really don't want to. So she's okay until they start barking at her. When they start barking at her, she really doesn't like that. So, but it's all good. They're learning, and they're doing well. So our little pack is now complete for a while. So they've got grooming appointments next week since they've never been groomed. So they're all very shaggy, and appointments for the big snip, which of course then, you know, we will not be the popular parents after that goes on, but not gonna deal with it. So we have new puppies. So what else? Wedding. Kylie's wedding is fast approaching. I did get her wedding sampler framed. I'll show that in my next update video, which I'm thinking will be on Monday. There's no way I can do it before then, and again, I'll explain that in a minute. But I should be able to do, I'm hoping Monday, that I can get Mike going, you know, we can get the music going, and I can show. I've stitched on a few things you can see. I mean, I've made significant progress on Let Freedom Ring. I barely started the building before, and now I've got, this was the never-ending page, which is done. No backstitching yet. I'll backstitch it at the end. So I've made a good progress on Let Freedom Ring, and a couple of other things. The April was like the month of stitch-alongs. That seemed like that's all I worked on, was catching up stitch-alongs, to which I'm pretty much caught up at this point. So, oops. I guess that's the end of that thread. Okay. So that was April. And then May, I've been working on this piece and one other. I did not do Mania this year because my Hawaii trip was in the second week of May, so I knew that would have caused some significant logistical challenges, 6-hour flights and all that. So I took a piece to work on while I was on the island, which I did a little bit, and then I've been working on this one. So, but again, I'll show you that when I do the update. I also have the framed wedding sampler, and well, one other piece got framed. So otherwise, wedding stuff is coming along quite well. We took Kylie's dress in for the minimal alteration that was needed in late April, and we're actually going to pick it up tonight. It's done. So we'll have that ready for 3 weeks. In 3 weeks with the wedding. Everything else is fine. I had a couple last things to tidy up, and we've managed to do that, and everything else is just staged and ready to go. Rehearsal is scheduled, and tuxedos obviously have to be picked up that week, and for the out-of-town family that I'm responsible for, or that are related to us, we've got them hotel reservations made, and their travel plans are finalized, I think, pretty sure finalized. So all that is ready to go. Everything's come together so far pretty easily. Hasn't been any. We had a little bit of drama, but that was several weeks ago. That was resolved to Kylie's satisfaction. Yeah, that's it. As for why I am off on this beautiful Thursday afternoon, this weekend is Phoenix Comic Fest. So, as you may or may not recall, I I volunteered for years when they were doing volunteer staffing, but now it's paid staffing. So now I'm a paid staff member. So, I work Comic-Con, and that is this weekend. So I went last night for our annual walkthrough. We have access to the back hallways of the convention center, since part of the team that I work on, our job is to shepherd the media and creator guests, and including authors and artists and cosplay folks, and then the media, the celebrities. We make sure that they get where they need to be when they need to be there. And oops, that is not supposed to be there. Anyway, so we use the back hallways for that. Now, while obviously the layout of the convention center has not changed over the years, so I've got the basic layout. I know I could do that without any problem. Where they hold the different events or the different activities and schedules and stuff, where they do those things kind of changes from one year to the next. So it's always a good refresher to see the layout of the halls and figure out where the panels are that you need to escort your guests to, and that's just easier done when there's nobody there. So we always hold a walkthrough on Wednesday night. Takes about an hour or so. And there's always new folks that are on the team, so it's good to help them get acclimated and get build some confidence when they're standing in front of a guest who's looking at them expectantly as to where they need to go, and they want to be able to walk with confidence. The one thing I do tell them is that in 9 times out of 10 that guest doesn't have a clue where they're going. So even if you take a wrong turn, it really doesn't matter. Just correct it and move on. Just give yourself plenty of time to where you need to be. So that's really the key. I'm trying to figure out this. So we did our walkthrough last night. I do know what guest I will be working with. It is someone that I have worked with before, and I'm very, very excited that he's coming to the show this year. I think this is what I need to do. I will be assisting Sean Marr of Firefly. If you watch Firefly, it's Dr. Simon Tam. He came to the smaller show, Phoenix Fan Fest, in 2015, and I worked with him then, and he's just the nicest, just the sweetest man. So I was very pleased to see that he was coming this year for the big show, and I was assigned to work with him, so very excited. He's only going to be there Saturday and Sunday, so tomorrow I will actually be working in the author area and helping with some of the signings and stuff. We have a good population of local authors that attend the event, and they always do well while they're here. So it should be fun. But that being said, I'm not going to have a lot of time this weekend because I'm going to be at the convention center all weekend. And in fact, tonight, Kylie and I are going to go down so that we can actually just walk the exhibitor floor, because the exhibitor hall opens in about an hour. And I don't usually get an opportunity to walk the floor when I'm there on the weekend, because I'm basically anywhere that Sean is, except when he's at lunch. So, and then I have to take a lunch. But so we'll go tonight, wander around, and see what fun things we can find, and then tomorrow go for the show. So that's that. So, what else? Let's see if I can turn this over. Actually, I'm not going to bother to turn it over. I'm just going to bring it up here, snip this off, and I can leave it when I'm done. Start the next one over here. There we go. So what else can we talk about? So let's see. What else has happened since I recorded last? Well, we had Nashville Market. I know. It's so old news on that. I got a couple things, which, again, I'll show. And literally, I bought like 2 things out of the Nashville Market. So, I have so much. That does bring up a question. I have so much, right? I really need to start thinning out the stash. I mean, I've been stitching for like 30 years. So you can imagine the amount of stuff that I actually have. Now, I will say that I haven't really been building a stash except for probably the last 15 years or so, but that's still a lot of stash. So I'm trying to find a good way to destash it. Now, I am well aware of the various Facebook groups and am a member of a couple. I think I bought one. I bought one thing in my time on Stash Unload. I actually helped another good friend of mine sell off her entire stash, and we did that via a closed Facebook group with the last bits in Stash Unload and a couple of other spots. But I'm not looking to go at that extent. I expect it'll be kind of a slow and easy process as I continue to kind of sort through and, pull out maybe a dozen, 15, 20 things at a time. And I'm not looking to do anything, huge volumes, but just kind of a slow and steady. Basically, as new stuff comes in, make sure something goes out. It's kind of the approach. But at the same time, I also realize that there's lots of stitchers in many places, and not just on Facebook. And I have lots of stuff. And I mean, I can do some. I've seen, obviously, there's, certain Instagrammers that are doing the same kind of destash. Michelle has been, Bendy Stitchy has been extremely successful. But I don't have the followers that she does, so I'm not, I don't know. Do you have what are your thoughts? So if you were going to look for stuff, or where would you look? I could do, obviously, a Facebook video, but that you are beholden to whoever can catch you at the time that you're doing that video. So that's not necessarily the best option as well. And I'm very leery of the live videos. I know some folks are doing them with great success, but I just am very nervous about, opening it up for basically anyone on earth to kind of pop in and I'm just not, I don't want to deal with the trolls and stuff. So anyway, I'm sure the answer ultimately is a little bit of everything. I mean, I could always just put together a file, a Google document or some other file, and post it a link everywhere. Including here. I do have my blog that is woefully it has been woefully ignored for quite a while. So that would be another option as well, is to just have that kind of list out there and post the links and kind of maintain it as I can. But I got lots of stuff. So if you have any thoughts, I would appreciate them. I won't be doing anything until July. I need to get past obviously Comic Fest this weekend and the wedding in 3 weeks, and then I have a get together the weekend after that. So, and I probably will have a business trip the week after that. So I'm not going to be doing anything significant in that area until July, other than potentially, starting a pile or a box of stuff to go out. So don't be looking for anything like, in 2 weeks or anything. So it's everything on my list. Now, you may be wondering why I am stitching these leaves the way I am. So this is a Gentle Arts thread. What thread is it? Endive. So this is Gentle Arts Endive. It's got a slight variegation. It doesn't have anything, it's not obviously crazily variegated, but it's got enough that if I stitched it back and forth in rows, I would definitely have horizontally striped or vertically striped leaves, which, while could happen in nature, not really all that, not all that prevalent. So I thought about doing and in fact, I think the first one that I did the around the outside and then kind of circle. But as you can tell from the shape of these leaves, that was a bit problematic to try to figure that out and figure out those paths. But diagonal, as you can see, isn't nearly as cumbersome and doesn't require as much thought. Or maybe I should say as much planning ahead. I only have the areas where it goes from narrow to wide or wide to narrow, depending upon the direction that I'm going. That's really the only places that I have to really look at it and figure it out. So I do it this way because then you can still see some of the variegation, but it's a much more random, I guess, variegation, and there's no stripes, or no obvious stripes. Shoot, turn your head sideways. So that's why I'm doing these diagonal for the variegated thread. Now, up here, this is Classic Colorworks Calico Kitty, and you can see again where in some areas I went sideways, so like here I went sideways, but up here I did up and down, and even here I did both sideways and up and down to cover this area. For bricks, that is okay, because obviously we're not talking about natural phenomenon. And instead, I like the way it looks and kind of shows some variegation in the building. It gives straight lines, but they're not It's not like I'm stitching in 2 different colors to create the bricks. So that works out much better. So, but the leaves, I wanted something a little less precise, I guess. So that's why I've got the diagonals. And with this leaf, I'm halfway across the bottom border. This is page 13. This is page 13 in the pattern. I have 11 pages complete at this point. So let's see, what else have I done? Oh, I caught up on my movies. Caught up on movies in the last 3 months. As I mentioned, I saw Pacific Rim on my birthday. I loved the original one. It's just a great, no thinking, nice eye candy type of movie. I really like it. Charlie Hunnam and Idris Elba. The second one, not so bad, not bad. More story, less kind of large monsters terrorizing each other, but still, I mean, it was worth the afternoon movie admission. I finally saw Black Panther because I knew that it would be important to see it ahead of Infinity Wars. So I saw Black Panther, which I enjoyed very much. I'm not going to gush over it as I've heard some folks do. It was very good. It was very different for a Marvel movie, but that's fine. More character, more story driven. Again, nothing wrong with that. Just, you know, it moved the overall universe along and had some important bits and pieces to lead into Infinity War, which Infinity War I really liked. I was smart enough to take tissues because I certainly needed them. Ready for the next one. Either the next Infinity War or just the next Marvel movie. I don't care which. I know Ant-Man is coming out, but that's kind of a parallel with the Infinity War timeline. So then the next step in the timeline doesn't come until Captain Marvel next year. That's okay though, I can wait. I can wait. I can be patient. Ish. I was kind of bummed we didn't have any Hawkeye. He's one of my favorites. But I'm going to assume that because all of the other original Avengers made it through to the end, that since he was one of them, then he survived as well. So we're just going to go with that. So. I've been watching lots of Stitchmania movies, Stitchmania videos, and I really like how some folks have done it this year. I love Caroline's daily video. It's like, I don't know, it's just like having, 5, 10, 15 minutes that just to see what she's up to. It's nice. I like the daily kind of check-in. I mean, not that we weren't not hearing from her on a regular basis before, but daily is kind of fun, and I'm probably gonna miss that after she goes after the end of May. But I always like the increased, fun and variety in the folks that do the weekly videos, and I even enjoy the vlog style, those that do, like Trisha and that do the vlog style, which is not usually my thing, but it's just been really nice to see all the variety and all the different things and what's going on. Yes, I admit, I had a very brief thought, because last year I was all set up to do it, and with 15 different Mill Hill kits, and I managed one day, and then I didn't go any further. However, I can say that I finished all of the projects that I started last year during Stitch Mania. All one of them, but it's done. So, but this year I've just been so focused on finishing up things and trying to finish everything that I start in 2018. Though I will admit that I've now started something that is really going to test that resolve, which you'll see again in my update video. So, but right now I really want to get this piece done. Obviously it's huge. I started it last year, and I'd really like to get it done. I think getting it done within a year. I started it in 4th of July last year, I'm pretty sure. I think trying to get it done by 4th of July this year is going to be a big stretch, given all the crap I got going on in June with the wedding and get together and stuff. But by the end of the summer, by Labor Day, I don't think is unrealistic at all. It's just going to be a question of whether I run out of steam on this freaking building. This page about killed me. Oh my god. But we'll see. Labor Day is the goal. Alright, so it's 2:30. I have no idea how long we've been chatting. Oh, probably close to an hour. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to stitch it together, insert my puppy picture that I promised, and get it upload started as I leave for the afternoon and head down to Comic Fest. So have a great day, everybody, and have a wonderful 3-day weekend. I fully plan to see you again next week with lots of updates and lots of things that have lots of stitching updates. I won't do as much of a life update, obviously, because I did that here. And have a great day, and stitch all the, have fun. Enjoy. Bye.